I expected to be more of a hands-on when it came to, because for one, I didn't realize how much housework it was. I expected you to do all outside work.
I do all outside work.
You don't do the gardening. I had to do that.
You expecting me to do the gardening?
I'm more, what do you call a person who's an introvert and an extrovert? What do you, what's the person in the middle? I had to hit you with the book. This could be the commercial intro.
Alright. What were you saying?
Okay, what's going on, guys? This is your girl Simply Betty 101 coming to you with a guest today. This is my husband, Flimlo Raps.
What's up?
Today is a very interesting video. I wanted to do a video basically about long-term relationships, the reality of a long-term relationship, because a lot of times we get in relationships and we have this fairy tale of what it should be. We have the ideal person and we get all of those things, and it's literally not what we expect it to be. And a lot of relationships will fail because each one is trying to mold the other into what they want in that relationship. So it's going to be a lot of compromises in relationships. So we're just going to go over our relationships. Just to give a little background, we have been together since 2008. So that is 10 years. It is 2018. We've been together for 10 years. We have one child, which we had in our later years of the relationship, and we've pretty much stayed together
For the most part.
for the most of the relationship. If I wasn't in my right mind, I probably would have been on an episode of Snapped. We're just gonna go over basically our expectations of what we wanted in a relationship originally, what we actually have today realistically, kind of how we've been working through those, trying to maneuver, because as you get older you go through different stages of your life, and you also have to go through these stages with your partner. To relationships, I always like to think of it as a full-time job, literally. You know, you go to work, you put in your hours, you get your pay at the end of the week or every 2 weeks, or however your payment is set up. Relationships are the same way. You have to literally put in the work and the time.
I wouldn't compare it to that.
Why?
It's not the same.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I feel like a relationship is to be enjoyed. You do have to cultivate it. It's almost like, this is how I look at it. This is what I would use, right? Man, this might not work. I don't know if this works for your audience. Like, if you play a sport though, right? Like, say if I play basketball, I love basketball. I have a natural talent. Like, the relationship, there's a natural chemistry there from the jump. But if you don't cultivate your skills, eventually your like the level is gonna outgrow you. You know what I mean?
So in other words, you still have to put in the time and the practice.
Yeah, that's what I say. I agree with you. I just didn't like your analogy.
Why you gotta be difficult?
I don't know, man. That's what I did.
My expectations for a relationship going in was like everything was 50-50. And what I mean by that, like, that was my analogy. Like, housework and bills and like family, or, you know, time spent together, everything had to be met on a 50-50 level. That way we made up 100% of a relationship. That, I know it's weird, but like, that's literally how it came up in my mind.
Okay, so before I even interject, how do you see that now?
It's not 50-50.
How would you describe it?
Well, for one, I had to come to the realization that not every dude does housework. You are a prime.
I am one of those guys. So I do a little bit.
He takes out the trash.
Man, I clean a little bit.
Okay. You do clean if I'm out of town or if I'm sick or something like that. And then, you know, I come
I'm
home.
not about to move the couch to vacuum under there. I'll vacuum around the couch. I'm one of those people. See, this is the reality of long-term relationships. Like, see how we can't stay on topic to save our lives?
Originally, I worked, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom. he's 100% of the bills instead of it being 50-50. I was raised basically to always bring something to the table instead of take away from the table. But as I've gotten older and I've talked to other married couples as well, especially in my family who's been married for years and years and years, you know, they've explained to me that just because you're not bringing in money financially doesn't mean you're not bringing anything to the table.
Exactly. And see, that's the way I see it, right? It's, if we're talking about like your 50-50, your initial 50-50 analogy, we try to get to 100%, but it's just different ways to get there. Like, it's mad equations. Keeping the house clean and taking care of a lot of this stuff, like taking the lead on a lot of this stuff with our son. Like, all of that stuff is so important. It's more than just finances. I guess my biggest expectation was that, all right, we've been together 10 years. Mm-hmm. So by the time we got married, I really didn't look at it like, I'm like, you know, everybody's like, oh, it's marriage. I was never scared. I was never scared of marriage. I'm like, yo, we've been together forever. We lived together forever. Both of us had grown. We had changed over time, but this was pretty much it. Like, this is just who we're gonna be. But I found that after we got married, there were a few more like fine-tuning things that we still needed to do. Like, honestly, like that, I couldn't be in a relationship with nobody else, honestly. But the ability to be myself at all times is like expectation. Reality is, it's just certain time. It's time for everything. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, because if she's just not having a good day, and then I might come in and say off the cuff joke that, you know, I gotta read the situation basically. You know, you still gotta read that situation. It's not as strenuous as like when you're in public, but you're still dealing with another person. Like, we two individuals who just, you know, we work together, we live together, we're in a relationship together, we raise a son together, but we still two different people. So I can't just expect her to have the same moods that I feel. You know what I'm saying? That's probably like the toughest thing.
I think a lot of times too, like when you're in a relationship with someone, especially like if we have friends, like our very, very close friends, I can't expect him to get something as easily as my friends would get the same type of topic. Like, he has to go through it a different way about thinking versus, or I just say it to my friends and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, and you be like, that doesn't make like explaining and trying to pull the information
do we
out
have
of
an
each
example?
other. Well, you didn't understand it first. Why people like, why you have to go out? Why you gotta dress up and go out?
Yeah, I used to not understand that.
Yeah, so that's a good analogy. So yeah, going out was, you know, something that I always did. I always enjoyed it with my friends, and sometimes I would like to go out with my boo, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like going out to a club or something, but like going out to eat. Like, he couldn't understand, like, why we gotta go out to eat. You can't just cook something and we sit here without somebody coming up to us every 10 to 15 minutes, interrupting our meal.
See, that's a part of us growing in our relationship. I'm an introvert. You feel me? Like, I'm introverted by nature. So that type of stuff, I've grown to enjoy it more, but when I was younger, I really didn't enjoy going to a restaurant, because number one, I couldn't afford to go to like nice restaurants and have a good experience. You feel me? And so if I did go to a nice restaurant, I'm basically spending the last of my money. I'm not happy, regardless of how great the service is. So yeah, I don't know, man. I think I just had to get older for that one. So I enjoy that. I understand that a little bit more now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pulling that back from like 4
but
years
it
ago.
was a good one though.
Maybe.
I'm not necessarily introvert, but I'm not necessarily, what is it? Extrovert all the time. I'm the person in the middle. I forgot what it's called, but I'm the one that's in the middle. Sometimes I want to be by myself, and then sometimes I want to be out and social. So with me, I'm more social.
All right, so let me ask you this. Coming into the marriage, what is the thing that you expected most that you that wasn't exactly the way you saw it?
When we got this house, because previously before we stayed in apartments. So when we were going into the house,
You got some. Yeah.
I expected to be more of a hands-on when it came to, because for one, I didn't realize how much housework it was.
Based on what? Hands on with what?
Like with the house chores, outside, inside. I expected you to do all outside work.
I do all outside work.
You don't do the gardening. I had to do that.
You expected me to do the gardening?
I said all outside.
What would make you think that?
You said you enjoyed mowing
Gardening?
the lawn.
Like, that's really? That's amazing to me. Like, I can't believe you thought, like, nothing in our 10-year history has ever pointed to the fact that I would enjoy
You said
gardening.
you
this
enjoyed
much.
being outside. You enjoy mowing the lawn and stuff. And
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and knock the lawn out, sure. But gardening? That's a whole different thing. All right, whatever.
like, I didn't want to do no outside work.
Yeah, you misread that one, bro. You misread that one. It's not good, though.
I didn't want to do any outside work.
I wanted the mood. I like the mood in the house to always be at a certain level. I like the energy to be a certain way. And I didn't realize how much we both have to steer that. You got to be so conscious of it. It's so easy for like it to drop, and when it does, the house is real drab, and it's, you know, everybody's kind of like, not, I don't know if it's even angry, just kind of like withdrawn. All right, sorry y'all, I have to voice this in only because I didn't make my full point here. What I wanted to say was the reason I never expected the energy to be low is because when I transitioned into YouTube initially, we just had a lot of issues. We had a lot of financial problems. It's a whole bunch of BS. Like, we went through it. And this was at the same time that our son was, you know, he was new to both of us, so we trying to adjust. And we struggled a lot for like a year and a half. And we finally built everything back up. We got straight. We got this house. We moved. Our finances are good. Everything is good. So I just never expected the energy to be down. I just thought we would always just be happy because, yo, look what we just came through, and now we're here. I wanted to make that point during the thing. I forgot, had to punch it in. All right, I'm done. That's probably the thing I didn't expect, because sometimes it'll fall into that, and it'll stay that way for way too long. And then when you bring it up directly, you just make it worse. Like, you can't bring it up directly. You have to see it and
go through the motions.
Yeah, you see it, and then you start to implement things to reverse it without ever bringing actual attention to it.
It's very
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of paying attention, which is the key.
It's a lot of paying attention.
You have to pay attention to absolutely everything. If you can't read body language, your spouse is the only person body language that you really have to read.
All right, so what is the most difficult thing about the relationship since we've gotten married?
I think really just getting readjusted
To what?
to ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, before we got married, we had a new child. So we are trying to adjust to that. Also adjusting to moving, because in the last, year, we've moved, 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, 2 times. We're new parents. We're
So
new husband, new wife.
is
A lot of newness.
Yeah, so just adjusting to all of that has been the struggle for me.
I would agree with that. Like, sometimes I think we lose ourselves, like the relationship part of it, to being parents and the house and all of these responsibilities, and that's tough.
It is.
Like,
And you know, the crazy thing is, shortly after we had our son, I implemented or came up with the idea of we have to do date night. Because I'm not necessarily saying I saw the foresight, but I just knew, being new parents and still with the career changing and the moving, I knew that all of those other things were going to absorb most of our times. So I wanted to still have it to where we still had that alone time.
Yeah.
So we do date night every week. And you know, sometimes it doesn't work out in our favor. We have to do it, make it into family night, but we still try to get that alone time. We try to make that a top priority for us as far as the relationship goes.
So the key thing, and it's, I don't want to say it's impossible, it's just so damn hard. Balance. I struggle mightily to balance being a dad, a husband, a friend, running my channel, like trying to balance all of this together. And sometimes this need more attention, but then you have to move it over here, and oh man, wrong tripping. So it's like, I think that's the toughest thing, like about just relationships in general, especially as you get older and you have more and more responsibilities, and now you got more stuff to balance.
Yeah.
And it's a hell of a balancing act.
It really is. Basically, what it all boils down to is making sure you're paying attention to your spouse, yourself, your family, making sure you're paying attention to the surroundings, making sure you're paying attention to body language, making sure you're hearing each other. So you still got to work on things for yourself before you enter a relationship with somebody else. So that's another thing, and that's why we had so many ups and downs.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming through our relationship, because we were still growing we were young when we got together. So we were still evolving as a person, trying to figure out, you know, what we wanted and who we really are. And then somehow, some magical how, we stayed together throughout all of that. Even when I'm feeling upset or sad about something, you can kind of pick, if I'm not masking it, he can pick up like, okay, something is wrong. You know, maybe she needs more attention, or maybe this, or, you know, that is one of my favorite things about the relationship. That you can kind of be like, okay, maybe, you know, I guess you kind of like analyze it in your head, like what's been going on, and then you go from there and come up. He's a fixer. So if there's a problem, that's his niche. He has to fix it.
She's analytical. I like that. You feel me? I'm a very analytical person. I'm super critical of like films or music. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that we can sit down, we can watch a movie, listen to an album, and break that down, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Talk about like a minute detail for like an hour. Like that's my shit. Like, I like that. You know
yeah. Black Panther was a prime example, because we didn't rate it like 10 out of 10.
Like, why are you bringing that here? Like, we don't have time to explain it.
That'll be another video, but yeah, we critiqued that movie. I loved it.
It was a great movie.
It was great, but it should have been called Wakanda.
One problem with the whole movie. Anyway, we ain't getting into that, man. All right, bro. So, sure, this is your channel.
All right, guys, that's pretty much all we had today about relationships, and just giving examples of things that we went through as our relationship. So if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment in the comment section below. I do know now that people do read my description box. Thanks for their response on that. But thank you guys, and you guys enjoy the rest of your day. This is your girl, Simply Betty 101. Mwah.
Peace.